This is the silver 1 month overview reading for the month of February 2023. It's currently January 19th, 2023, 1:56 p.m. Eastern Time. Silver at the time of this reading is currently $23.83 per ounce. And the shuffle file that I'm going to play was actually conducted created on December 8th, 2022, so quite a bit back. The overall theme and behavior for the month, we have an overbought crest or peak that we sell off from, and it's crossed with a U-shaped dip that forms between the intersection of two perpendicular diagonal trend lines. My sense is that we have this like U-shaped dip throughout the month, and both peaks, like both tips of the U, have an overbought sell-off. It looks like an overbought sell-off that takes us into a low. Behavior around the highest high, we have a period of volatility that ends with a fast sudden move higher. And then behavior around the lowest low, we decline through multiple support levels to reach the lowest low. And that's on the scale of like a multi-day chart or a 1 month chart. On the first, we have a period of sideways rotation along a key support level on a 1 month chart. It increases with bullish momentum as we move forward in the day. On the second, an unexpected, improbable move to the upside. There's a prominent crest or peak at the day's high, which is like towards the early afternoon. And we go up through it and then back down, like up to meet it and then back down. It's an unexpected move to the upside to reach it. And then on the 13th, I'm advised to be cautious. Quite a bit of volatility there. And an unexpected move to the upside as well. On the 4th, looks like we have a prominent, and there's a prominent trough early in the day on the 3rd. On the 4th, we have a prominent trough as well. There's sideways rotation along a key support level that ends with a fast sudden move higher. On the 5th, we have a decline through a support level to meet a second support level. We bounce around on that support level for a bit, and then we break down through multiple support levels. There's a significant move midday on the 6th. We have a correlation to the Priestess card there, and we see a correlation to the Priestess card near the other place where I see a highest high possibility. So interesting that there's two correlations and there's like a low in between them. So there's a crest on the 6th that we sell down to and through a support level. Then we do a U-shaped reversal, come back and reuse that support level as support. And then a notable move and breakout midday off of a low. On the 7th, we may have a highest high here on the 7th. There's a high probability of it being on the 7th or on the 8th. And there'll be like a period of like a holding pattern with a pop and drop. Senate is probably going to be highlighted here. That's another thing that I wanted to point out about this reading is that there's quite a lot of people. Like all the significators are like court cards. Like we have the Prince of Swords, we have the Knight of Swords, we've got the Queen of Cups, the Knight of Cups, or excuse me, the Prince of Cups. We've got the Empress, the Princess of Swords, the Princess of Wands, the Queen of Discs. I mean, that's a lot to be in all the significators. I don't know if I've ever seen that. My sense is that there's some sort of like meeting that's taking place in the month of February that will impact silver somehow, like something to do with Congress or like some sort of convention or like assembly of some kind. On the 8th, we have 3 pokes through the same price level, and then a sharp decline off of that 3rd poke. The highest high is on the 7th or the 8th, somewhere around there. There's a prominent there's a prominent crest or peak for the month at the end of the day on the 8th. We gap down pretty hard on the 9th. and then on the 9th we moved to the upside significantly, like out of oversold territory, or to fill a gap, the gap down that we took in like over the night, the preceding night. Something important to point out also, guys, when we're looking at the 1 year, this is why I think the 7th, 8th is most likely the highest high for the month. We have a prominent high or peak that stands out on a 1 year chart here in early February. Yeah, and my sense is, and that's an opportunity, it looks like, to open up a short position, to close in March, actually, in early March, it looks like. After we have that decline through support to meet a second support, and then we rotate sideways. We've got the highest high in front of us, though, so I'm not like too worried about it. But this would be a good place to open up some protection early February at a high. And so with that said, you know, early February we have a highest high here. This is most likely the highest high. It has the same correlations as the highest high does, and none that the highest high doesn't. Alright, well, yeah, so that's pretty much why I decided that this is the highest location. Even if it didn't go with the 1 year, it still would have been the highest probability of the highest high, but it stands there, like, you know, lined up with what we see in the 1 year as well, so important to point that out. So on the 10th, we have a trade opportunity. Actually, there's a few trade opportunities that I skipped past. I'll get into those in the paid version. And on the 10th, we have like a significant resistance level, like a really strong resistance level that we don't seem to break. We just kind of like meet it, and then eventually we break down, and there's a lowest low either on the 9th or the 10th. So we go from like a highest high to a lowest low on the 9th or the 10th. Maybe possibly both days, 9th and 10th, with higher probability on the 10th. On the 11th, we have a notable move. We established support on a 1 month scale, and then we have a notable move to the upside standing out on a multi-day chart. There's a failed attempt to break through key resistance on the 12th, followed by a decline through key support. We have a prominent trough or low here early in the day on the 13th. We established support again on a key support on the 13th. That's on the scale of a multi-day chart. There's a notable move to the upside standing out on a multi-day chart, and then we established new support at a higher price level there on the 13th. On the 14th, there's a rally along a diagonal trend line breaking through horizontal resistance, meeting a second resistance, and then pulling back to somewhere between those two price levels. On the 15th, we see the halting of a bullish trend marked by a sharp decline through key support, again on the scale of a multi-day chart. On the 16th, we have erratic behavior back and forth through an important price level. In the midst of that erratic behavior, there's a crest that we revisit, which was recently a past opportunity. On the 17th, we decline down to and through support to meet a second support, and then we rotate sideways along that support. On the 18th, we have a critical technical price level highlighted at a resistance. There's a high probability of a second meeting of a highest high here on the 18th. And there's a notable trade opportunity here that I'll get into in the paid version. Guys, if you're interested in the paid version, go to the website tarotfortraders.com. Hit on our services, Eso-Meta forecasts. Click here for your forecast. Type in the ticker, in this case silver, and click on the subscribe. You can cancel anytime. You get the most recent 1 month that's been done, so the current month's reading, and then you also get what you're paying for is the following month's reading. So you get complimentary this month's reading, and then the following month's reading comes in, and it's every month. But this is the best way to support the channel, my friends. It also allows us to put out public content as well, but this is where you see the best trade information that we have for February. There's that shuffle, my friends. Alright, so key technical price level highlighted. On the 19th, there's a notable decline and like a prominent trough that'll stand out there. We rally somewhere between the end of the 19th and early the 20th. There's a rally there, but that rally ends on the 20th. There's a rally on the 20th that ends on the 20th. On the 21st, so we decline like towards the end of the 20th or into the 21st, and out of that decline, there's a sideways fluctuating rally, but that rally precedes a notable decline. We have some price swings along a key support level on the 22nd. 23rd, we have another location where we very likely have a lowest low here on the 23rd or the 24th, or maybe both of them, but there's multiple failed attempts to break through key resistance on the 23rd, and there's likely a lot of price movement here because we have a prominent crest or peak as well. Same thing goes for the 10th. With that, there's a lot of price movement here because we have a prominent crest or peak as well, even though there's a lowest low probability there, right? So a lot of movement. And then on the 24th, we meet a resistance level on a multi-day chart, which we break down from with consecutively lower spikes up on the way down, taking us into a prominent low or a trough, possibly a lowest low there. On the 25th, there's an important resistance level highlighted on the scale of a 1 month chart. We meet that and volume kind of flattens out. The following day, that price level is then like we're breaking through it like back and forth 3 times. So we crisscross up through it, down through it, and then back up through it, confirming a bullish trend. However, looks like a prominent crest or peak midday on the 26th, and then there's resistance that's highlighted at a lower level the following morning. So we open lower the following morning, and there's a resistance level that's highlighted. We're near oversold territory, and we sell off from that near oversold crest or peak. On the 28th, there's bumping along resistance, possibly breaking through resistance, bumping along resistance. At the end of the day, however, there's a notable move to the upside that'll stand out. And then the sneak preview card for the following month, March, we decline through key support that we had recently declined through once before. So we'll decline through key support that on a scale of a 1 month chart or a multi-day chart that we declined through in the month of February. Likely we decline it through it in both cases to the low. That's silver for February 2023. Let me know what you think by hitting that like button. Don't forget to subscribe, my friends. Most importantly, make sure you follow that rule of karma. It goes hand in hand with making money in this channel. If you plan to profit from the information of this channel, my friends, you must follow the rule of karma or the universe will shut you off. Okay, so you go to the resources tab. The rule of karma, 5% pay it forward to the universe, to somebody who needs it. Be their angel. It's cool to be an angel. Like, if you can get away with them not even knowing that you gave them the money, awesome, even better, good deed. 5% back to the channel to say thank you and show your support, your gratitude. And both of these percentages, this 10% of the profits that you give out, is you saying to the universe, I know there's more to come and I'm thankful for what I've received. And that right there, my friend, is what continues the cycle of abundance and continues the flow of the abundance. When we say things like, oh, let me wait till I have more and then I'll give some to the people who rightfully deserve it. You know, like things like that, that's scarcity mentality. You have to think about the decisions. What are the decisions telling you about your mentality? You don't want to have scarcity mentality because scarcity mentality attracts scarcity. You want to have abundance mentality. There's more coming. Here's some for you as well. And that's a good mentality to have, my friends. So thank you very much. I've seen that more and more people doing that. We're going to do shout outs at the end of the month to all those that have been doing that. And you better believe you remember those people. They're the ones that are helping to support the advancement of human consciousness and the evolution of mankind, which is what we're doing here at Tarot for Traders. All right, my friends, stay tuned for the paid version. I'll see you soon.